the World Food Programme and the Centre of Excellence doing work in countries. We are very much aware that there's an outreach in these countries. In our department of social affairs, that they are doing studies on the cost of hunger in Africa. We call it the COA. I think much of the countries in Africa have targeted social protection interventions, so we still have a long way to go. The biggest dream is for extending social protection coverage, work towards universal coverage. This can be done in terms of more social insurance programs, where we can also offer social protection measures like free, good health care, good education to people in the informal economy and in the rural agriculture sector. That is one challenge. I alluded to current policy instruments like the Social Policy Framework for Africa, like the Social Protection Plan for informal workers and agricultural workers, and the recent declaration on employment, poverty eradication, and inclusive development. Very important instruments. At African Union level, all the member states together adopt them, and they can be templates for member states to develop their own measures. We can then monitor, and we must report back to the ministers every 2 years to say, look, what you have adopted last time, that policy instrument, we have made an evaluation, we sent out M&E frameworks. Some of them were completed, not all countries completed it, but this is the status of implementation of that policy framework. Many times, the ministers or countries who couldn't show too much progress in implementation, the ministers will ask the experts, what's happening here? What can we do better for us to comply to Africa's policy instruments? Many Africans in leadership positions, like myself, have been to Brazil. I have seen the program in action. For instance, when it comes to school feeding, I saw how the small-scale farmers sold their products to government, who then redistributes it to the public restaurants and, of course, to schools, hospitals, and old age homes. There's also the whole issue of technological innovation that I observed in Brazil, and some of that technology could also be transferred. Not for free, we can buy it up from Brazil, and we really look forward to a continued relationship in this regard. But it is critically important that we develop capacity of our people also on the ground to produce food for distribution to schools and the other institutions that we mentioned. And then there's also quite a lot of practical African wisdom and African ways of doing things. And I think if the Centre of Excellence could first come and do a study of how we, at the end, produce, and then after that come in with more research-based innovations that can help us double the agricultural production, as is called for in the SDGs, for instance.